A derivative is a financial instrument whose performance, value, and risk exposure depend on an underlying asset over a specified period of time. The underlying asset is referred to as the underlying. They include equities in the form of stocks or stock indexes, fixed income securities, currencies, commodities, as well as other non-asset instruments such as interest rates, credit, energy, among others. Some derivatives are even tied to weather elements, such as snow or temperature levels. It is worth noting that unlike mutual funds and exchange-traded funds, ETFs, derivatives transform the performance of the underlying. A derivative is similar to an insurance contract in that it transfers the risk of the underlying between the buyer and the seller via a legal contract that defines the rights and obligations of each party. The buyer is referred to as the long or the holder, and the seller is referred to as the short or the writer. The risk of a derivative is usually driven by the underlying's price movements, among other variables. Derivatives are divided into two classes. First, there are forward commitments, which are contracts wherein the buyer and seller agree on a pre-specified price for buying or selling an underlying at a future date. In other words, they lock in the price. It is called a commitment because the two parties are obliged to transact. Forward commitments can be in different forms such as forwards, futures and swaps. Second, there are contingent claims, which provide the right but not the obligation to buy or sell an underlying at a pre-specified price. Options are the most common form of contingent claims. The decision of whether to exercise an option depends on a certain outcome. Thus options are contingent. Find the full Introduction to Derivatives video on www.cognivisio.com.